What's up, everybody? Just thought I'd get you guys another update. I know I was talking about everything that's going on with the new server, and I'm sure everybody wants to hear what's happening. So we're just going to talk a little bit about what's going on, and I'm going to show the map off. This time I won't do it in fast forward. I'll just kind of do it all real time, and then you guys can see exactly what's going on. So I think probably one of the first things I should mention is some of the plugins that we're looking at. We were looking at this werewolf plugin here, pretty cool. Doggy on Fire. We kind of messed around with this in the past with the server, and we're going to go ahead and bring it back because it's been updated. You can see that there's the 1.8.3, but I think we're going to just be using the 1.8.1 server because that's kind of what the other plugins are working, and that's enough of an update for us. So if you guys want to check it out, you can see what the link is up here. Pause the video and go ahead and type that in there, or I can give you the link if you guys really want. It's really, really cool. Just kind of got some werewolves going on. I guess now they've got a few different options that they didn't have in the past. I guess there's like clans. There's the Silvermanes, the Blood Moons, and the Witherfangs. And they all kind of have their special little abilities. So I was talking with Demonic Mobster, and we were kind of going over different plugins that we want to use, and this is going to be one of them, and we'll be kind of setting up some areas. He's going to be helping out create these little areas. He was asking about, what can we do, and wanting to make special little custom biomes. That way we can have these caves and things. So I think that's like a really, really good idea. You guys can give your feedback. Tell me what you want to do. I think, right now we'll just kind of go over the plugins real quick, and then I'll go and show you the map again and kind of just give you an update on what we got going on so far. The next plugin that we're going to look at is this vampire plugin, which of course is a huge part of what we're doing. It's a really, really good plugin. Kind of your basic vampire stuff, but they've been also updating it, so there's some new stuff going on. So that'll be really fun to add in there. And Gods has been updated as well to the 1.8.1, so we'll be bringing those back. I know everybody loved the Gods, and they're a huge part of the server, so that's kind of just some of the basic plugins. Of course, we'll be doing the World Guard, the World Edit. We're going to be doing some MCMMO, and I think we're going to have some Townie on there because it makes it really easy for people to create their own little towns. And I'll talk a little bit more about the towns in a second. Let me go ahead and open the Minecraft up here so you can kind of see the map. I think what we're really planning on basically doing is having this hub that's obviously got mini games like most other big servers, and then from the hub you go to the RP side, and that way you can just have this all map that's set up just for role playing. And this will be our typical map that we had in the past, and it's going to play up the whole fantasy thing. And so let's go ahead and go here, check out the map. What we're doing is we're kind of having like an Emerald City. You can see I'm starting off here in the Emerald City, but what we'll do is we'll spawn up here. I'll go ahead and fly up here so you can see what's going on. And basically it's going to be the typical thing where we started in the past, where we started up here on this mountaintop, and it gives you kind of a good overview and a good starting point. So it's this like snow-capped mountain, and then from there you kind of work your way down, and I'm almost at the top up here. So you would start off here, and then this is the spawn area. You get a good view of everything, and then you would just follow this little path down here, and it would take you to the intro to this actual city here. It's the Emerald City, for those of you who have been on the server and know about it already. And it's kind of just like a little bit of a starting spawn, like a hub for everybody. And it gives you a nice little intro to kind of what our theme is and what our styles are, as far as what the map looks like. Get rid of these torches here real quick, kind of in the way. I'll be removing more of that stuff later. But, you guys have seen this before. You know what this is about. You just go down here and you can go ahead and take this little slip and slide and then drop yourself down into the fountain, and it kind of gives you, a really good view of what we are all about as far as the building quality, I guess, on the server. In the past, we've done some things where we kind of bring in different buildings, and we're going to be doing the same thing. This map itself is a brand new map that I've started from 1.8.1, and what I did was I basically just started like a little survival game, and you kind of probably saw a little bit of that in the last video, and I just kind of let it spawn some of the worlds so I could see what it looked like and make sure it was the right map. I set the features to large biomes, because with large biomes it makes it a lot easier to go ahead and add in all of these large buildings and things that we have. So far this city is kind of the main starting point that I've added in. I don't want to go too quick, but I also don't want to linger on all this stuff. I think most of you guys have already seen it. And we've got all the basic stuff that we need that's in here. We can have these kind of portals to warp us to some of the major areas if we need to. And you can see there's a little skeleton guy hanging out over there by this area. This I think will be for like the vampire stuff. There's a dark altar and a light altar. So if you want to basically cure yourself if you get any of the diseases like the vampire or the werewolf stuff, and make it a little bit easier. This is our area for our guilds, so it'll kind of tell you like what kind of perks you get from being in these different guilds, and then it'll list the sort of classes that you can pick from. Your typical chantry's got mages, that kind of stuff. And when we add the werewolf stuff in here, I'll go ahead and add them as another clan, I guess, and then we can put in some of their special abilities. This is a really cool little area. It kind of just gives you a little sneak peek of what the guilds are kind of like. They have their own little theme going on. Each guild's kind of got its own colors and its own sort of building styles, I guess. Obviously the Legion is like a nature thing. I'll show you later what the Legion kind of area looks like. So the Chantry area, just your typical kind of stuff that you would find with like guilds and factions. Makers area, that kind of stuff. Disciples, they're our religious group, and so this is kind of like a little miniature church going on here. It's really, really cool. Their colors are blue, obviously. You get the orange for the makers, the red chantry, the green for the Legion, and so on. Each one of the guilds that kind of has their own. And again, I'll go ahead and add more of that stuff in later as we develop these clans for the werewolves and vampire stuff. So let's go out of this spawn area, and I'll kind of show you what I did. One of the big things that people were talking about, especially Emmett, and I kind of really do agree with him, that these areas that we bring in, for the large cities, they really need something to make them look nicer, so they're not just big chunks and smooth transitions going from each thing. So what I did is I created these really cool sort of walls and towers and gates going on. So this is how you'd get out of the city, right? And basically it's just a massive wall that kind of is a border between the outside area. So this kind of can be like its own little forbidden city stronghold type of thing going on. And we've got a nice little setup that leads outside. I'll kind of come up here so you can see. This is just your typical sort of tower, and it goes all the way around, So if you wanted to, you can get up here and go walk all the way around and check everything out. It literally goes all the way around the outside, like I said, to make a nice little border. And that's kind of the plan, is to make it much easier to sort of blend the two areas so it doesn't look like they're just cliffs. I'm using MC Edit to do this stuff, and they've developed a lot of cool new things, so you can actually sort of take the transitions where you would normally have things pasted in, and you'd have these massive cliffs going on, and it would just look really, really strange. So now we've done some things, and we're continuing to do it to make those borders a lot smoother and look a lot nicer and more refined. So what I was doing here actually was I was getting a horse and riding the horse to kind of see what it would be like to go from one area to the other, as if you're kind of traveling between them. So let me get a horse here, and we'll kind of see how long it takes us to go from one area to the next. We want it to be fairly open, because the plan is, I guess, to build some little towns and some little outposts along the way in this major kind of road here. And then as you're traveling, you'll kind of get a chance to see things from the main road out and getting to look at other little buildings and I think battlegrounds and just other little stuff. That way you kind of slowly make your way over to the actual True Shadow City, which would be like the main city that we're going to have. And hopefully that's where everybody's going to try to live at. But like I said, we're going to have townie and all kind of other little things going on, so there'll be plenty of other stuff to do. Try to tame this horse here. He doesn't want to let me be his buddy. Come on. Give me some horse love here. Some little hearts, please. I want to be your buddy, horse. It's pretty cool. Black with white spots. Oh, he's trying to get away. Man, this guy does not want to get tamed. There we go. Alright, so let's put a saddle on him, and then let's go ahead and take this little road here all the way up and see what we got going on. So, I can start timing it right now. Let's see. So that's right from the gates of the city, of Emerald City, and then we'll slowly make our way over here. And this is just a huge spruce, or no, these are, this is just a biome with lots of trees here, a birch biome it looks like. Massively large biomes, like I said, to try to make it a much smoother transition. The birch kind of look okay, but, we're going to, like I said, have a bunch of things going on where eventually we'll have little towns and things off of here. So we're kind of cutting through the mountain a little bit here. That's probably one of the only spots where there's like a mountain that you actually cut through, and it's really not even that big of a mountain. And then we get into a plains area here. I'll just slow down for a second. So that's been only about a minute, not even really that long, maybe 2 minutes at the max. And I'm running straight there, and you can already see there's some stuff going on over here. And this is the Legion area. It's the Legion tree right there. There's a nice little way to get down and go check it out over here. Let's see, you can kind of take this little path off the side here. I won't go too far off and check it out, but you get the idea. That's where kind of the Legion area is. So it's not really that far from the spawn. So if you had a horse, you could get there pretty quick. On foot, obviously it would take a little bit longer. Let me turn this rain off. Weather clear, I think is what the command is. So that should turn that off. And then time set day. Yeah, so we get back to the daytime again. So you can kind of see that's the Legion tree over there. And you got this little path going around, so it's pretty cool. And we'll keep going to where we can get to the actual True Shadow City, and then I'll give you kind of a peek of that. Again, like I said, I'm working on all this, so we'll just keep improving it and making it look better as we go. But we kind of got some of the major things in here to start off with. That way you guys get the idea of what's happening. So there's this nice little walkway that kind of leads you up here. This goes over to the library, if you guys are familiar with that. So that's pretty quick. I think I'm going to get off. I see some floating vines over here that I need to take care of. Should not be there. And what I'm going to do, you can see up in the distance up there is the Chantry Tower floating above everything. Go ahead and go up here and check it out. You can see the True Shadow City sign in the background there. This is our dwarf mines going on. Let's see, go up here. So this is your tower that you've seen in the past we've had. Pretty cool. We added some colors in to kind of make it more themed with the red stuff going on. I won't go in there and explore it too much right now, but you get the idea. That's a little cloud we got going on over here for a little area set up for just the gods. They get to hang out on this cloud and look over the whole entire city. It's kind of a cool little setup, little meeting area. And I'll go down here and check out the city a little bit more. This is probably the oldest building on the entire server.